We're going to continue learning about the present perfect tense, but this time we will focus on questions and short answers. In the previous lesson, we learned how to make positive and negative sentences. Now we will learn how to ask questions in the present perfect and how to answer them in a natural way. First, let's remember the structure of the present perfect. The tense is formed with the auxiliary verb, have or has, and the past participle of the main verb. For example, I have written a report, she has finished the document, they have begun their project. When we make a question, we simply change the word order and put the auxiliary verb have or has before the subject. The structure of a present perfect question is have or has plus subject plus past participle. For example, have I begun the job? Have you grown in your career? Has he hit the target? Has she shut the office door? Has it taken a long time? Have we taught the lesson? Have they written the report? As you can see, the past participle stays the same and only the position of the auxiliary verb changes. Let's look at some more examples. Have you begun your new job? Has the plant grown in the last year? Have they written in their books? Has she taken the document? Have we understood the instructions? These questions help us ask about actions that happened in the past, but are important now. For example, a manager may ask a worker, have you completed the document? Or have you checked the report? Now let's look at short answers. When someone asks a yes or no question in the present perfect, we often answer with a short answer instead of repeating the whole sentence. The structure is yes or no plus subject plus have or has. For example, have you begun your job? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Another example, has the plant grown in the last year? Yes, it has. No, it hasn't. Or, have they written the report? Yes, they have. No, they haven't. Short answers make conversation faster and more natural. Notice that in positive short answers we do not use contractions. For example, we say, yes, I have, or yes, she has, not yes, I've. However, in negative short answers we usually use contractions, no, I haven't, no, she hasn't, no, they haven't. To use the present perfect correctly, it is important to know the past participle of verbs. With regular verbs the past participle is usually the same as the past simple, but many common verbs are irregular. For example, begin began begun, break broke broken, bring brought brought, build built built, catch caught caught, come came come, forget forgot forgotten, grow grew grown. Take took taken, teach taught taught, understand understood understood, write wrote written. These forms are important when forming present perfect questions. Now let's look at some examples using office vocabulary. For example, have you filled in the document? Has the manager checked the report? Have the workers completed the task? Has the secretary contacted the company? Have you found out the reason for the problem? These types of questions are common in workplaces when people want to know if something is finished. We can also talk about work experiences. For example, have you worked in this company before? Have you decided your occupation? Has the manager contacted the staff? Have the colleagues checked the diary? In these examples, the present perfect is used to ask about experiences or actions connected to the present situation. Let's also practice with some short dialogues. Manager, have you completed the document? Worker, yes, I have. Colleague, have you checked the appointment in the diary? Secretary, no, I haven't. I'll check it now. We can also use the present perfect to ask about someone's work life or responsibilities. For example, have you earned your salary this month? Has the boss decided the plan? Have the staff finished their work? These questions help us talk about tasks and responsibilities that are connected to the present moment. So, to summarize, present perfect questions are formed by putting have or has before the subject, followed by the past participle. We answer these questions with short answers, such as yes, I have, or no, I haven't. Learning these structures will help you ask questions about experiences, completed tasks, and recent actions in everyday English conversations.